Because you're the only kids that can do it. Not me. Actually, kind of Hermione. And you, Harry. And you, Ron. Hey everyone, welcome to Jones Vibes. My name is Danny. Today we are talking about the biggest announcement yet for the upcoming Harry Potter series on HBO. The trio has finally been announced. We now have the three kids that are playing Ron, Hermione, and Harry. And this was the announcement that I was waiting for. We've already had some casting announcements. I have my feelings on some of them, like I really like some of them. Other ones I'm kind of questioning a little bit, but it was make or break with these three kids. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's like if they announced that it was three kids and they all just looked nothing like the characters, I definitely wouldn't have been excited, but we now have our first photo. It also came with an article, so today I'm going to dive through the article. We're going to read that together. We're also going to look at this photo, because look at these three, man. Oh my gosh, they're just perfect. But let's dive into this thing. All of this just like flooded the internet yesterday. Everybody was talking about it. This article comes from Variety. It is titled Harry Potter HBO series casts Harry, Ron, and Hermione. HBO's Harry Potter TV series has officially found its Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Dominic Monaghan will play the role of Harry Potter. Arabella Stanton is Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout is Ron Weasley. More than 30,000 actors auditioned for the lead roles since HBO launched an open casting call last fall. Filming is expected to begin this summer. And there's a little bit more below. We're going to read that here in just a moment, but I just want to pause for a second. And let's take a look at these three kids. Also, look at this photo and tell me if it reminds you of something. It definitely reminds me of something. This looks exactly like the first look we got of Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint way back in the day when those three were announced. They're out in the field, there's some lush greenery around, you know what I mean? And it's just insane that we are going through this again. You know, the first time this all happened, I was young. I wanted to be Harry Potter, but I wasn't British, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't audition for it, but I remember just being blown away by the entire thing, because I think it was the first time I really thought about adaptations. And I was reading the Harry Potter books at the time, and then all of a sudden I see these kids, and each of them looked so much like the characters that I had already had in my head when I was reading the books that it was just perfect. Like, even before Sorcerer's Stone came out, or the Philosopher's Stone if you're not from the United States, but even before watching that first film, I had already started to read the books with those three in my head, and then it just kind of took off from there. Like, now I can't read Harry Potter without picturing them, but now I'm asking myself the same exact question. Will I eventually go back and reread these books but have these kids in my head? I know that's a tough ask, I know that's hard to change, but when I look at all three of these kids individually, they just embody that spirit, they embody that essence of the character. But let's start with Dominic Monaghan. I know nothing about these kids, by the way. I've never seen any of them act in anything, so this is judging purely off of this photo. But just looking at Dominic here, it's really crazy looking at his face, and you think about the book covers, and you think about what Harry Potter really looks like. He almost looks more like Harry Potter than Daniel Radcliffe did. That's not to say that Daniel Radcliffe isn't an amazing Harry Potter. He embodied that role, he took it, and it's phenomenal. But call me psycho or crazy all you want, it's just there's something that this kid has, clearly, that they saw out of 30,000 freaking people. He just looks like Harry Potter, and I can't wait to see the glasses and the scar. I hope they do the scar a little bit differently. I'm just so excited to see them in costume, you know what I mean? But then moving on, we have Alistair Stout, like the coolest name ever, but this kid, Ron Weasley. And again, just from this photo, it seems like he has that essence. I know there's the red hair, so clearly you look at him and you're like, ah, yeah, that's Ron Weasley, but there's something about the kid. He seems charming, he seems like a nice young man, and I think he can play a good Ron. It's also a different look and a different vibe than Rupert Grint, than the Ron that we grew up with. Like, they have different faces, they have different traits. Red hair isn't everything about Ron Weasley, you know what I mean? So this is going to be a different take on the character, and that's exciting. But the one that, funny enough, kind of makes me tear up and get a little bit emotional is Hermione Granger, this Arabella Stanton. I feel like all three of the trio go through a lot in the 7 books. Clearly, Harry goes through a lot, but Hermione is a very complex character, and there are a lot of moving pieces, and I feel like really really hard elements to nail down with that character, and it takes a great actress, somebody like Emma Watson, that can just absolutely take control of that and give such an amazing performance. And so seeing this young girl, seeing that they chose this girl, they clearly think that she's up to it, she's up to this role, I think it's really sweet, man. I think it's really exciting. I also just like, I'm not to be mean to this young girl, but like just looking at the teeth, I'm sorry that she kind of has like bigger front teeth, but that is Hermione. When you see Emma Watson in Sorcerer's Stone, apparently they tried it and it just didn't work. They put on some like fake teeth and she wasn't able to really like talk that well through the fake teeth, so they ditched it and they just used Emma Watson's real teeth. But this girl kind of has some like bigger buck teeth there, and I love it. It reminds me of Hermione so much, and I can't wait to see all three of these kids just grow up before our eyes. This is a 10-year journey they're about to go on, obviously assuming these seasons continue to get greenlit and assuming that the audience shows up. But it's freaking Harry Potter, and assuming that they do it well, it's definitely going to continue to get greenlit. But that is another thing, kind of turning the page over to like the journey and the fact that these kids just got selected. I think it is a very scary thing to think about because their lives just changed. It's basically like becoming Justin Bieber overnight. I mean, this picture is released, so obviously that's going to do something to their fame, but I feel like once that first trailer drops, bro, once the first episode comes out, these kids are not going to be able to go anywhere anymore because Harry Potter is massive. They teach college courses on it, for God's sake. Like, these are very famous characters, and these kids are about to become uber famous, and so that's a scary thing. Hopefully they have an amazing team of people around them. Hopefully they have families. Hopefully they have friends around them and people that genuinely care about them and aren't gonna like try to take advantage of them. You know what I mean? All those little things that come with fame and that come with notoriety and being a part of something like this. You know what I mean? I just feel like us as a fandom, the people that are watching this and enjoying this series and going through it, like I feel like we need to be protective of these kids as they grow because the internet is a really messed up place. There's a lot of people that are just hoping for this show's downfall, and there are already a lot of people in comments sections saying a bunch of stupid ass shit about these kids. And these kids, they're all just adorable, man. They all look so much like the character and they all clearly earned this. So like, let them work, let them do the work, let them show the skills, and let them be a part of this and just grow with it and just show them support. You know what I mean? If you want to make fun of John Lithgow's performance, although he's like super old, so that's actually maybe not the best example, but I mean, if you wanted to criticize another character, some of these adult characters, go ahead. But when it comes to these kids, like, you could criticize the writing of this show and where they take it, but it's very much like I talk about with the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just like, these are kids, man. Like take it easy on them and let's see what they do and let's just get excited about this. But also, I don't think the rest of this article really says much, but let's read through this. After an extraordinary search led by casting directors Lucy Bevan and Emily Brockman, we are delighted to announce we have found our Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The talent of these three unique actors is wonderful to behold, and we cannot wait for the world to witness their magic together on screen. We would like to thank all of the tens of thousands of children who auditioned. It's been a real pleasure to discover the plethora of young talent out there, said showrunner Francesca Gardner and executive producer and director Mark Milad in a statement. And yeah, man, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. I wonder if we're gonna get a documentary someday about like the final three for Harry Potter, like they did with Anakin and Jake Lloyd and all that stuff, because can you imagine being like the runner-up for getting Harry Potter? Again, absolutely life-changing, but as a fan seeing this picture, I just feel like this is the first time that I have felt like this is real. This is actually happening, and I'm actually excited for it. I'm actually confident about it. It's easy to be like, cool, Harry Potter series, like this is gonna be a great time, let's talk about this, let's speculate, all this stuff, but the fact that the trio is now set, and they seemingly look like the characters, they seem like the characters, it's just exciting. Now we need Draco. I also can't wait to see who they cast as Sirius, as well as Lupin, and a lot of these other characters. I don't feel like you can screw up a lot of that. Draco is the biggest one that I'm waiting on now. We need somebody perfect as Draco, and so I'll be reporting on that as soon as it comes out. I hope they announce that type of thing soon, but please let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this thing. What do you think about the conversation I'm having about protecting these kids and keeping them safe from all the toxicity online? Also, just what do you think about this first photo? What do you think about them as these famous characters? I would love to hear it, my friends. Also, more than anything, just make sure to keep up the good vibes, all right? Don't be ridiculous. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.